runtime exceptions. Under the runtime exceptions, you have this particular arithmetic exceptions. That is the reason you need to understand the hierarchy. If you don't understand the hierarchy, how these methods will be coming for you, how you will say this? So that's the reason for learning these particular exceptions. So first of all, you need to understand the hierarchy. And what from where these methods are getting it. See now, very means what are the things we'll be using it is get message, get stack message, stack tracks. So these are the things which we'll be using it for this particular exception handlings. Okay. Any particular pointers? Okay. So now, what do you means? What do you meant by the line number 16?
Line number 16 here, I have tried multiple catches, sir, and with single object reference, uh, it can look for what type of exception it is facing in the try block and can print me the message appropriately. So in case in the first one, this is an divide by zero error. So if you see, I will just run this program and I have commented this line number 11, which is another kind of exception. So in the first case, it will give me this error, this divide by zero, and finally block is executed, which gets always gets executed irrespective of the exceptions. Now, if I comment this one and uncomment this block is getting executed, but I will get a different message because a different class is being, exception is being checked now. Because this is array out of bound exception. So this message I get, and I'm able to handle multiple exceptions.
Cool. So now it is pretty simple. So now, for an example, when you have headache, you'll be having the headache tablet. When you have an heart attack, you'll be having to arrest that particular heart attack. Means what is the problem? According to the problem, you'll be getting the solution for it, right? The similar pattern. So here, when it is an arithmetic exception, so you're catching that particular arithmetic exception, and then you're printing that particular error message of arithmetic exception. When if it is an array index bound of range, so then you'll be getting it. See, usually the people can write it. So now, if you can see it, right, line number 17. Usually they can write as a multiple blocks like this, 17 and then line number 23. So first she has been implemented with different catch blocks. Either we can do it in this pattern or in a single line. Actually, she has used or operator. Means what it was trying to say is, hey, either it's an arithmetic exception or array index bound of exception. So any of these exceptions can be handled in this particular catch block. See, this is how, so she has been written on this. Now she created the object. So now either for arithmetic exception or for this array index bound of exception, it will take as E. So now means everyone should be very cautious. This is E or whatever the mention, the letters you're giving it. That's an object. Don't give, means many of the people practice that one as a simple E. Give it as a appropriate meaningful object name. So give it like the prefix obj error message or error, obj error. So give that particular thing very clearly, obj like arithmetic error or obj runtime errors, so that you can give that particular object name properly, and then you can hear on the over here. Now you can see it, right? So this is how it can be handled in the multiple situations. Now you've seen it, right? Try, catch block, and other catch block. Now when there is a number format issue, so then we'll be having using this particular catch block or last comeback. Scroll down.
Yes, sir.
Exception. What do you mean by this particular exception?
Exception
If I
E.
don't, why we use this class? See, you need to understand. So these are the classes which are using it, right? What you have done first, you have been called first all children's. Now you're calling the parent. If you don't give this particular above code, what it will execute for you? comment from 31 line, okay, to the top. Go to the scroll to the top.
Yes, sir.
Scroll down. From line number 16. Scroll down.
Yes, sir.
31. Yes.
Okay, sir. Just check something. Okay, and just.
Already there. It is there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you execute the program. The exception rise index out of bound range. Now you got it, right?
Yes, sir.
So the previous, yes, if you see this, the previous outcome and this outcome both are same. How come it is getting it?
Because it is the parent class for the arithmetic exception. So arithmetic exception class will specifically give that message, as we saw in our previous demo, divide by 0 or array out of bound. If we are not able to specify anything in particular, we can go for exception and get a message. Try to catch where we are going wrong. If we are not want a specific class, child class, so that this is a generic, a parent can handle both the arithmetic divide by 0 or array out of bound. So it can handle all its children,
See, the
child
first and
classes.
foremost things which you need to understand here is now this is what our hierarchy. Okay, this is object, and then throwable have two kids, which is exception and which is error. And exception have two kids, so which is checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions, which are like a runtime or compile time exceptions. Under the compile time exceptions, you have arithmetic and you
Null
have
pointer.
null pointer and then number format and array index bound of range. And under this one, you have another two kids, which is
Array and
for
string.
array and then for the string. So this is how we have it. Now you are using this particular class and creating the object and trying to print the error message. Either you can do this way, or now what you can do is you know that this is specified error it might come. So because you are writing the code, okay, when you're writing the code, you know that what exception may throw for this particular lines of code. Hey, whether it comes for arithmetic exception or null pointer exception or any other exceptions, you know, because the lines of code which you have been written, you know that this may go wrong. If this go wrong, this is the exception it throws. Means it might throw arithmetic exception, it might throw array index bound of range exception. Means you know that specifically, then you will be giving the catch. Now why we wanted to know about this exception specifically, because so that when you get this exception, according to that you can do this. According to do this, we'll be doing it. Means if a tire puncture, you will replace that particular tire. If engine is heated, then you'll be changing the distilled water. See, now when the engine heated, I'll use the distilled water here. When the tire got punctured, so then I'll be means replacing that particular flat tire. So now, according to the problem, the solution. According to the problem, the solution. Right? Now, if you don't know what exactly it throws, 99% you should write your code in this pattern. 1% if you're not pretty sure which exception may occur, at that point of time, then you'll be using the parent class.
Okay, sir.
And certain times, then it will go for super grandfather, throwable. So none of the people will be using it. At the framework level, they'll be using it as T. See, now the most important question the people need to understand that what is throwable? What is throw? What is throws? Difference between these three. Then final. finally. They will say that finale or final or whatever the pronunciation. What is another thing? There are three things for this one, right? Final,
Finalize.
finalize, finalize. So these are the most frequently asked questions. Final, finally, finalize. Throwable, throw, throws. Now here, first of all, we understood that what is throwable. Throwable is a superclass of an exception. It is a parent for exception and an error. Superclass. Now throw and throws. Anyways, when we go for that one, we'll discuss in detail of it. Anyways, we didn't discuss about this finally till now. We'll discuss about that one also. When we're discussing, we'll talk about this other two. But as of now, you need to understand this, how and when we need to use this catch blocks. Always you remember, if you really wanted to handle the code very well, so this is a way of doing it. Divide and then conquer your problem. Exactly, you divide that particular problem. What exactly the problem is? According to that particular problem, so you need to fix your issues. If you don't understand this particular thing, obviously what it will happen is immediately it will you will be not able to do this particular option. Just give me 1 second. Okay, fine. So first understand what exactly the problem is, and then what the solution you need to give it. Understand the problem and the solution for to give it this. And if you're not known that what type of exception it might give or in which way it go wrong, at that point of time only go for the exception. So, you are giving at this level. If something you don't know exactly, then you go for this level. So here you will not have multiple things to handle. See, now here you can handle, hey, if this exception is coming, you try to do this. If this exception is coming, try to do this. But when you using this particular exception, you have only one option to do this. Whatever the problem, single solution. There will be right. So whatever the problem you go, they will give only one medicine. So you need to clearly understand that when you have this particular classification, you can classify and then handle it separately. But whenever you have this one, you will not classify. So you directly execute that one with one single solution for all the issues. So classify your errors and then fix that. See, most of the times where you'll be getting these particular problems is handling from the different browsers, Firefox, Chrome, and Safari, Opera. So now multiple times you need to do it with the different browsers. At the different browsers, so you need to, you see that, so these are the different opportunities which you need to see on this. Got it? Any questions? So how, what it means, how we need to use this particular try and multiple catches?
Yes, sir.
And you always, you remember, when you're using the exceptions, another biggest problem, what it will come is safe exit. What is the safe exit is, even though the test case failed, it will say pass. Because you're handling with the different exceptions. When you're handling this with the exception, you need to throw the error message. If you're not throwing the error message, it will safely execute without saying that the test case passed or failed. Now, anyways, that you will not get that particular pointer here. But when you start implementing this particular test ng, in the test ng, you can clearly see that the test case is passed or test case failed. At that point of time, it will be safely execute with the green color. Green means always good, right? Actually speaking, when you are handling, means you, for an example, guys, this is really very important. You need to concentrate and then do it, because if I have written the code and then showing it to you, it might confuse you on this. I just wanted to give you the topic, so concentrate on this particular pointer. Now for an example, I have statement number 1, statement number 2, statement number 3. These 3 statements are okay. Now what I'll try to do, I use the try. Okay, in this particular try block, what I'll try to do, I have statement number 4, statement number 5, and I
Sir,
have
shall I stop my screen, sir? Sharing?
means people you're
No,
able to
I
see my
don't.
screen, right?
No, I was actually sharing my screen. Sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'll stop my screen.
But others are able to see my screen.
Your
Yeah,
screen is
yes, sir.
visible.
Your screen
Yes,
is
sir.
Okay, sir. I was
Okay.
actually in a different window. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, fine. So now, if you see here, this is the catch block. So now, in the catch block, let me keep it for any exception E. Okay. So now, if you see here, I have, if you see S4, S5, and here I have S6, S7, S8, S9. If you see here, this is the statements. And for S4, S5, if anything happen, then you can do that S4.1, S5.1. Like this, the statements will be executed. So it means if there is any error in this one, you execute these statements. But you see it here, these statements and these statements are standard. Now, what do you meant by handling? What do you meant by handling?
Managing, sir.
Yeah, graceful termination of the program.
See, your cut means you have an interruption because of an exception. Now, interruption means you can't go further. When you handle this one, it should go further. So this is what the handling, right? So now what it mean when you got the problem here, see now till here, I'm going very smoothly. So this is going very smooth. Now here, I encountered an issue. Now immediately I'll jump into this catch block and I fix that particular issue, and it should continue with the S6, S7, S8, and S9. So this is what handling. Understood? If it stopped
Yes, sir.
here, if it is stopped here, is it handling?
No, sir.
No,
This
sir.
is no. If it is stopped here, then you need to report what? This is failed. You need to mention that, boss, this is failed. If you don't mention this is as a failed, means you need to raise an exception. Don't worry, we will be having this particular topic also as followed. You need to raise this particular exception. If you don't raise and then say that this is failed, what it will do, it continued, and it will see, for an example, now in any of the scenarios, if I will be giving it, I'm just worried that you will be confusing it. But still, what it will happen is, if you don't give your quoted double quotes only for this, if you given for all 6, 7, 8, 9 also, it will stop here, and as this is not reported, it will say that this is passed. Is it the right way of doing it? Absolutely not. Don't give these particular catch blocks or try blocks for which the code it is not really required. It gives you the false positives. This is really, really very important. What you people bluntly do is try catch, I'll give the catch block for everything. No. What the code is getting means what the suspect you have, for the suspect, how you are going to handle. So these are the two things which you'll be looking after it. You shouldn't do it for the entire code. I'm telling you, right, 99% of the people will give this complete try catch give for the entire code. If you understand these assigns clearly, was for this 2 lines I may get problem, so give for the 2 lines solution, and remaining thing it should be kept out. And if it is failed, make it failed, means you're trying to handle it, you try to fix the flat tire, but even your uh, uh, whatever the stepney tire is there, right, even that is also punctured. then you can't do anything, right? So that is what, if it is, even though if you try to handle it, if you are not able to handle it, let it fail with appropriate error message. Failing that particular thing, so how to do it is, we'll be doing it with a rise. So anyways, that I'll talk about this one. But you need to know for which one you need to give the try catch block. You need to see, whenever you're handling, means whenever you're writing the try catch code, you need to keep one thing in your mind, saying that, hey, in the try catch code, it can have a safe exit. Safe exit is dangerous, means the wrong way of implementation of this you have done. So the test case will go and pass, it will not fail. In TestNG, when we are doing the implementation, I'll clearly show this one. Okay, so this is how the try catch need to be implemented. What the code you have suspect, only that code should be in the try catch block. Not every line of the code should be in the try catch blocks. And how I need to do it? So that is what the practice. It would be a little bit difficult when you're trying to implement for the first time. But when you started to implement it, by default, you will understand, hey, which block of code I need to keep it this into this. Who will let us? You are the owner of your code, boss. You should know from where you need to keep this, where you shouldn't keep this. So that is what you need to understand, right? So that's how you need to use your try catch blocks. And what the classes you are using it, these classes are also important, whether you're using the parent and grandparent, or you're specifying this one. When you wanted to specify, hey, I wanted to handle it separately, so I have that classification so that it will be easy for you to classify that and then attack the problem. See, always you remember, when you make your problem granular, you'll get a lot of solutions. When you see your problem from the bigger point of view, you will not get the solution. When you divide your problem into multiple things and then start seeing that particular pieces, then this particular piece is very simple to identify your problems. Always recommended to write it in this level, not in this level or this level. And this is the first thumb rule. Second thumb rule, this is the one, you need to give it only to the specify lines of statement, not for others. Whenever you're starting it from here. For statement 1, 2, 3, it is not required, boss. Why you given the try for this? It only required for this 5 and 4. So, for an example, now you have been defined the zero means some number divided by 0. That is a statement you have the problem. Why for every statement you have been included into the try catch blocks? And catch block, what exactly it required, that need to be there, and further steps it need to be there. So now this is what the exception concept is. See, exception is nothing but it disrupts your normal workflow. It interrupts your normal workflow. So when you have an interruption, so how you are going to handle that particular disruption and continue your journey is what error handling. So you try to handle the error, and if at all you are not able to handle that error, immediately it should throw the error message also. So that is also you need to mention. That is also you need to mention. How we need to do that one, I'll be talking in the TestNG, because there you can know a test case pass or test case fail, how the test case can pass fail. So those things we can do it. But now, as of now, you're in your execution, you don't have that option. So just you try executing your script, whether it is executing or not executing it. Without exception, if you're able to execute and then getting out, or with exception you're getting it out, or you're halting your executions. So those things now you are not able to clearly segregate that one. When you go for the TestNG, you will understand that. But this is the second thumb rule. So these two thumb rules, you should understand it thoroughly. Okay, any questions? Any questions on the try catch?
No,
Try
sir.
catch multiple and try catch nested. See, now nested is also pretty simple. Now the same statement, inside this particular statement you'll be giving the try catches, but still you need to identify what really it is required or not. And can you tell me, for multiple tries, Can I have catch block?
No, sir.
Can I implement in this way? Right,
No,
like
sir.
this.
No.
So always remember that try can't sustain with a single implementation. It can't be isolated. Every try should have catch blocks. Means try can have multiple catches. Multiple tries can't have a single catch block. Okay, these are the beginner mistakes which you usually do. Don't do this one. Okay, so this is what we have been discussed. Try, catch with the multiple options, nested or try, or way to use, how to use this particular catch blocks we have been discussed. Now, what is finally? What is this? See now how we need to talk when your explanation you are giving it. Try block, catch block, finally block, or finale block, whatever you wanted to pronounce it, you pronounce it. But this is the block of code, right? We'll be saying with it, right? If block, else block. So this is also try block, catch block. Hey, go and check in your try block, catch block, or finally block. Now, what is this finally? What is this finally?
Finally, it's like whatever the situation, I'm going to execute some set of lines, whether the try catch is executed or not. Like that. So whatever the situation, I need this set of lines to be executed.
See, you need to implement this one vigorously. I'm telling you, right? If you don't implementing this one, you will not understand this particular concepts. So finally is nothing but whether it is passed or failed, means whether it execute the try code or catch block, whatever it might be, it will come to the finally and it will start executing this one. It will start executing the finally block. So now it really doesn't matter, means it is executing the try block, having the problem, means even the try, everything is went well. Even after that, it will come to the finally block. And it will go to the catch. So even in the catch block, it will execute the statements and it will come to the finally. Finally means mandatory. Because whatever you do, whether it is passed or whether it is failed, you come and execute me. So the statements which you written in this particular finally block, these are the mandatory steps which it will definitely execute. Whether it executes the try block or the catch block, it doesn't really matter. It will come to the finally block and then it start executing the statements in the finally. Where usually we will be using this particular finally in the real time is, for an example, now I need to close certain objects, kill the objects, because you're creating all the objects and killing the objects. It's in latest versions in Java, latest versions, we are having the GC, the garbage collector will take care. But previously there is no option to kill this particular, means no option directly it can come the garbage collectors. At that point of time, we have a method called destructor, and this particular method has been wrapped with another method called finalize. So this particular methods, what it will be helping to do is it try to kill this particular objects. Now, once after executing of entire your code, so last they will be calling this particular finalize method. What is this particular finalize method will do is it will come and then destroy all the objects which you created in the front. Now, finally, also what it will try to do is if you wanted to destroy anything, means finally you can call this method. Final block, you can call this finalize method. Or You created an SQL connection, means you connected to a DB and you wanted to destroy that particular connections, because whether you read the data or you not read the data, but still you need to close that particular connections. So those things you'll be keeping it. So don't worry if you don't understand this one. But what you need to understand is what is finally. Finally is a block of code which it is like a mandatory execution. Whatever it happened, whether the test case pass or whether the test case fail, it doesn't really matter. It will execute. It executes the complete block of code of finally, and then it will go out. So that is the usage of finally. Whether, for an example now, see now here we have S1, S2, and try S4, S5, and catch. And here we have 4.1, S4.2, and here S6, S7, S8. Now this is the program, right? This executed successfully. So this executed successfully. Now when I'm executing this S4, now what it means is it went to the catch block, it executed this step, and then it executed this step and this step and this step. Now when you added the final keyword, now here this particular statement would be executed as a mandatory. So now either it executes the try block, means if there is no exception, it executes S4, S5 and come to the finale and execute it. If there is an exception, it go for S4 to the catch block, it executes these particular two steps, and then it will come to the finally block. Whatever you do, but you will be executing the finally block steps. So this is how this would be created and then be used. Okay, any further questions on this? So how the finally block runs? See, I'm doing it a little bit faster because already you covered these particular topics. Any further questions on this? All clear? So make sure to implement by the expectation of this one is you people will be implemented by today itself on this one. But let me first complete for other things also, and then I'll come and then see on it. See, I may not see. Usually, I was following this one, so that's the reason I'm seeing it. I don't know the latest links which it has been given it. If you have the latest links with the more content or more informative, so please go ahead and then look after it, and then definitely you can give that information so that the team also can follow on this. So if you see here, so these are the three things. So now how we can handle the try, means the exceptions we have been used with this try, catch, finally. So these are the three things which we have been we have been looked on it. So here you have another two things, which is like throw and throws. Now first thing we know that these all things are keywords. Try, catch, block, finally, throw, throws are all are keywords. Now what throw does? Throw an exception. What throws does? It declares an exception. See, the basic differences you need to do it. Throws declares the exception. It throws an exception. Now, what it was trying to say is, it specifies that there may occur an exception in this method. It doesn't throw an exception. It always uses in the method signature. What it means is, anyone implemented on this one? Vinod, did you implemented this? Throw and throws. I think I seen your code yesterday when
Yes,
I
sir.
was
Yes,
saying
sir.
it. I think you
Yes, sir.
implemented it.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Surely, sir. Yeah. So my screen is visible.
Yes.
So line number 33, throw method.
That is now okay. So now here you need to see what you need to focus is here. You need to focus this line number 34 method, which is an array index, and then 42 and 46. So these three methods you need to understand for this particular throw and then throws method. Okay. Now in the line number 34, which is array index, so there you can see the line number 37. What it was trying to do, it was trying to throw an error. What error it was trying to throw? So you can see that new index out of bound exception. Now what is this index out of bound exception?
It's a constructor.
That's a constructor. Excellent answer. That's a constructor. Why? Because in front of that one you are seeing something new. What is new keyword?
It will allocate the memory.
Allocate the
Will allocate the memories.
It allocates the memories. You know what we have done in previously, we are using class and then the class and the reference object there. Here directly what we are using, we are using the constructor of that particular class, and that error message we are passing it. So now whatever the error message you wanted to pass it, you can pass it over there. And this is a purely a constructor and the new keyword which it was trying to do. So now what you're trying to do, throw that particular constructor with that particular text message. Now what we are trying to do is explicitly, means if certain times you wanted to explicitly throw the error message, then you're using the throw new and the respective constructor name and what the error message you wanted to pass it, you are going it. So this is how the throw would be worked out. So throw is help to throw an exception. Now throws, see, we would be saying that may boss, you may encounter the problem, so be careful. Now here what we trying to do in throw was explicitly I wanted to throw this error message in the code. You throw that one, but throws, it is giving you the caution, you may get this exception, so be careful. So throws would be used in your declaration in the method signature. So the method signature means public in some method, there you have been used throws keyword. And what is this here? Arithmetic exception.
it's in
That's
class.
a class. So you're here, you're giving with the class. Hey, for this particular method, there is a chance of getting an error of arithmetic exception errors. You are giving this particular means safety precautions. Now, for an example, when you boarded a flight, they'll give you, hey, you need to get the oxygen mask here, and then you need to wear the swimsuit. It is not that the accident will happen, but when you get an accident, you should be cautious. Same way, that is where this particular thing throws will always be like this particular precautionary. Boss, you have to be cautious. It may get this arithmetic exception. So now when you encountered with any exception here, line number 43 or anything, if you get the exception, then this particular error message would be thrown for you. Comment all the things and just execute only first throws and then execute only with this particular arithmetic, the throw and throws, these two methods. Only I just wanted to see the code. Remaining things you can comment it.
Yes, sir. So now the array length is more than that. Uh, I mean, less than or equal to 0. So it's thrown an error. So it's accepting. It's given exception occurred, and it gives an error message.
See, now, first of all, you comment this particular two statements of the 42 and then 46 methods also commented. See, just wanted to execute one method, one by one method, and then show it to the team. So now, what is that particular method you called? So now, yeah, you can comment this 75 and 76 also. So array index, what? Array index is the method which you have been throwing the exception, right? Yes, execute this one and then show the output.
So now length of an array is 5. Now I'm just trying to remove this.
It will not come to the if block, right?
Yeah.
You keep that
Yes,
greater
sir. Yes,
than.
sir. Yeah. All right. Oh, it's and throws an error.
See, now what it means to us is it throws an error with the red color. Then only this is an exception. See, now what it will happen when it goes to the line number 37, did it execute at line number 38?
No, sir, it's not executing,
It
and
didn't
it's
execute that particular thing. So now you keep the same line number 38 in front of this 37.
yes, sir.
You duplicate that one, copy that statement, and then paste it over there. And you can say that before. It's okay, just you can keep it. Okay, you can write as a before test. And just remove the braces. Line number 38. What is the error message you are getting it now?
The code is unreachable.
Why it is saying that? Why will be getting this unreachable? I think when you go for your written statement also, you'll be getting this one. What do you mean by this? Method returns, you'll be having it, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That.
Before this one, you didn't encounter that. But now why you are getting it? Comment that line number 37. No. Here you have been removed this one. Now, flower braces you have been removed. That's the reason you
Yeah,
are getting
curly
that.
braces.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And the curly braces. Now, what the error message? Still, it is showing at 40. Syntax, you need to keep that curly statements. Close it. Align the code. See, now that's the reason you need to use the formatting the code. Means Control A, Control Shift F. And now you see what the error message is still throwing it. Even this will be an unreachable code.
So, but everything
Comment
inside
line. Comment the line number 32. See, there is a reason, right? So now, once you throw a new message, there is no point. Means definitely it will not go and execute the next line, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then how it is executed previously then? Save. Save the code.
So I think after throw keyword, we should not add anything, sir. So that it will improve.
Previously also the code is same, right? We didn't made any. The previously also we have, after the throw new keyword only we have that statement. What else we made change? See, this is meaningful only. I understand this is right, but still how it executed previously then? What it is trying to say it is, hey, when you're throwing an exception, there is no point of executing the next lines. So that code is not at all reachable for us. But previously how it executed this? Do the Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Give the strokes.
Yes.
Control Z. Console. Do the Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Go back. Go back. Go back. Once again, Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Now we go back to that method. How now it is going? Now what you do is just change that length. Length is greater than 0.
Okay.
Still the same code, right? Now come to the main
flower
method.
braces are missing at beside the if, sir.
Yes, sir. After if only the control up to one line, sir. So the 38 is not executing.
So we didn't get that particular scope included for this one. When you keep that particular flower braces, you are getting the error message. Close that particular. Now you remove that flower braces. Even in the starting one also you remove it. Now you enter. Enter. Add sysout. What version of Java you are using it?
17, sir. Java 17.
Okay. So actually, I didn't acknowledge this one. So without braces, it is working. So probably I didn't write on this one. I'll look into it. So now what it means to say it is, even if you don't give any particular braces for the first statement, for the one line of statement, it will be part of if block. That is the reason it is not throwing the error message there. Because the throw, it belongs to the if. That's the reason this system.out.println would be an out of scope for that statement. That's the reason without having those two statements, it can be executed. But when you are giving another statement, so this is coming as an unreachable code. So now it is coming as an unreachable code because only line number 37 is part of if block. Actually, this shouldn't allow. I don't know how it is allowing here without braces, but however, I'll check in the latest version. Is this allow? They can allow this one, or how many lines of code it can accept for it? Okay, you got the team. You got the point, right? So now, as it is an if block, it is only blocking for one particular statement. So when it is a one particular statement, then it is not throwing for the line number 40 for the error message. So now you see it is not throwing it because it is taking only one line of statement. But when you are combining that all, then it will be throwing that out of scope error method. Okay, fine. So now what you need to see now, the basic implementation, what you need to understand over here is when you're throwing an exception, so that particular exception would be thrown. So now you can see it, right? What the error message you have been given it. Check the length of an array. So the same error message. See now what exception you are trying to throw? You're throwing the index out of bound exception. You can see in the below, same thing, exception in thread, index out of bound exception, and the error message or the customized message which you wanted to throw, that customized exception you'll be getting over here. So these are the customs exceptions. Means you can change the exceptions according to your requirement and throw that exception. So where you can use this particular custom exceptions?
If we want to create the user defined exceptions, we can use these things, sir.
And where you can keep this one? Where you
Yeah.
will define this?
We need to create one more class, then we need to extend that class, sir.
The right place to do this one is in your catch blocks.
Constructor.
Catch blocks. You can go for a different catch block, and in
Yes,
the
sir,
catch
yes, sir.
blocks you can define this one, and then you can show that custom exceptions, all the things you can keep it. So I told you, right, you differentiate your exceptions, and in the differentiated exception, there you can keep this particular exception for this, and then you can use on it. See, that is where, this is how you can do your custom exceptions, or this is a user defined exceptions with whatever the error message you wanted to have it. So that you'll be throwing on this one. So that is what called as throw. Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. Huh? Okay, fine, guys. I just need to jump for other call. Let's continue for tomorrow. So now what it means is go back and then try to implement on this particular throw and throws, and then come for tomorrow. So I wanted to see all try catches, finale, all the blocks, and then throw and throws also. We'll discuss in detail about throw and throws tomorrow, and some other keywords also tomorrow in detail. And once after tomorrow's discussion, we will see that what are the keywords which we will be having the pending. Even on the keywords also we can discuss. And as we planned, so we are going to start from Monday the test ng, and this weekend you'll have the assessment on the thoroughly. So anyhow, I'll be getting your results on the last assessment also. Let me go through that particular assessment results too, and then let's wait for this particular assessment also on this side.
So cursors also need to be covered, sir.
Oh, crushers not collected means completed as part of this collections.
Collections. No, sir.
Okay, let's talk about that. If you have any other pointers pending, so note down all those particular pointers and share it to me. Accordingly, we can discuss on that. Okay, that's it
So
for the
that
day.
assessment will be from starting to ending, sir? Manual
Yes.
and automation.
No,
both
it is
will be-
purely on Java. On Java topics only you'll be having it. Okay, then thank you. Have a great day. See you all tomorrow. Bye. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.